We get in there. Should be going live. Okay.
Music sounds good.
So is the audio over the voice, or is the voice good now? How are we doing, guys?
Sounds tight.
Good, good, good. All right, so let's see this here. What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? How you doing? This is Fission with ModCrash. We are bringing another edition of ModCrash Live. Tonight's edition, what we're going to talk about is basically setting up Streamlabs OBS to stream your gameplay, your music, whatever you want. We're going to go ahead and do this. So a lot of people, they come out there wondering how to get it set up. There's a lot of videos out there that say, hey, you do this, you do that, but it really doesn't go into like great detail what you need to do or how you need to do it. So what we'll be doing is, since it's live, we're going to do a live Q&A based session. You'll be able to either ask me a question or ask Anamoxia. We have Anamoxia on here. Put his question in chat. We'll try to answer back, and we'll basically get going on this. So one of the first things that we want to do is follow ModCrash PC on Twitch or on YouTube /ModCrash, and of course follow me. I'm Fission. You can follow me on Twitch at /Mr. Fission, and that's F1SS1ON. Or you can follow Anamoxia as well, ANAMOXIA. Sorry about that, brother.
It's all good.
So yeah, this is going to be one of our newer series, because all of our live videos are going to be basically about like how-tos, how to build a PC, how to overclock, how to do something like what we're doing tonight, setting up Streamlabs. Now this process is really similar with OBS, and I think maybe we'll go through that as well, but we will definitely check. Now I am going to be setting up the stream on a second PC. The reason I'm not going to do it on this PC is because it'll be easier for me to set up everything for new that you guys will be able to tell. So if you're in here on chat, go ahead, say, hey, what's up? Drop us a hello. So the first thing you want to do is you want to download and install Streamlabs OBS. And I believe Anamoxia has a link for you, so you can go ahead and install that. And I know I'll be looking over here to the right or to the left, because that's actually where I have the monitor set up that I'll be doing this here. So I'll be looking back occasionally and everything else, but either which way. So the first thing we want to do is we want to go to this link here that we have up to download Streamlabs. And we're going to download it. If it lets us. There we go. Oh, we got a bunch of instances. It's okay. No worries. Just was taking a minute there. You guys must be really coming in and downloading everything. All right. So now one thing I'm going to mention, guys, is the link that is there. That is an affiliate link. So you download it. We get a little kickback from it. But one of the things that we're doing is for every download that's done or any purchase that's made through our merch store, we're going to do 50% to charity. We're going to be giving 50% to St. Jude's, and the rest will be going to ModCrash. So please, just go ahead and, click that link and then go to it. So the first thing we want to do is, let me go ahead and close that out. You go ahead and click I agree. Install. Now I already have it installed there, so it's going to ask me if I want to repair or anything like that, and I'm just going to say no, I'll cancel out of it. But I wanted to show you guys basically how you do it there. Well, maybe not. So once we click finish, should have a little check mark there at run Streamlabs. Go ahead, click finish. It's going launch Streamlabs there. And it's going to run through its little thing, and it's got all my stuff that I have already in there. I want to start from new, so let me actually do this. So don't worry about any of that stuff there, and then we're going to do stream setup, create new, and that's basically going to set everything like it's blank, like it's brand new. And this is the default interface for it. Over here you have your dashboard. Dashboard we can't go yet because we don't have anything, we're not logged in yet or anything like that. Then you have here themes, which we'll get into in a second. Everything's pretty much locked down right now because we're not logged in. The first thing that we're going to want to do is log in. And you can log in with either Twitch, YouTube, Mixer, or Facebook, or you could set it up later. But we're going to go ahead and log in with Twitch. And we'll go ahead, we'll click sign up, create a username, and we're going to do whatever you want to make your username to be. We're going to say ModCrash Stream Setup. This is a real crazy name, just so we can go ahead and show you guys. The password, I am going to create a random password. And okay, that's not working, is it? I can't type today. And I'm actually doing a real easy password. That's the funny part. Birthday, January 1st and 1991. That is not my birthday, but we're going to do it so we're old enough to actually at least be able to set this up. And then we're going to do an email of Twitch streamer at gmail.com. We're not going to verify the email, of course, because we're not going to need to. Select everything with crosswalks. I am not a robot. Sign up. Now right here, this is your authorization. Streamlabs, Twitch wants to connect with Streamlabs, and it's basically saying, hey, do you want this to do this? So we're going to go ahead and click authorize. So now Streamlabs is connected with Twitch. Right here we have default scene 1, which is the only thing that's there. And basically Streamlabs, this is why I like Streamlabs so much too, is it's going to save all of our settings in a cloud environment. So any new PC we go to, any new whatever, it's going to save everything right in there. All of our scenes, all of our stuff. So scene 1, okay, and then scenes here. And actually I shouldn't have anything else there now. It should all be blank because we're starting up something new. So manage all. Let's rename this to our stream setup. Okay, and that's our active one. And we're going to create new. Oh, excuse me. Scenes. Manage all. Stream setup. Okay. And then let's go ahead and delete that one that accidentally got created. And close it. So stream setup, that's going to be our scene now. Okay, now our scenes are going to be the different things that you see. Basically, if I click through here, going like this, or I click through here, these are different scenes. So you can have it set up to be where, for example, you're in your gameplay, and I'll have just solid gameplay with a little cam. They'll be over in the right hand corner like what I'm doing over there. Or you could do, you know, an intermission screen, which would have it where you're in between gameplay and you just want to talk. Or you can do just a chat where it would be a large video cam or whatever, you know. So our first scene is going to be the stream setup, and scene 1 will do our camera. So we're going to call this our cam. And then in cam, what you're going to do is go over to sources, click the plus, you're going to add a new source. Now the source that we want to capture is going to be a video capture device. And if you look over here, it selects from your built-in USB webcam or an external. So you can go built-in webcam, Logitech webcam, external or capture cards like Elgato, AverMedia, Blackmagic, etc. So video capture device, add. We don't have any existing yet, so I'm going to go ahead and call this Logitech C920, because that is the webcam we will be using. add new source, and it's going to allow us to select which one we want. So hey, that's me, that's our cam. You can see the green screen I have behind me here, and that's, you know, pretty much what we want. I'm not too worried about what it looks like or anything like that right now, but this is basically here how it is. So now automatically right here we have what it says, your resolution, FPS type. Now with the Logitech C920, what it does is it basically comes, it's in a 4:3 aspect ratio, more of a squarish instead of the 16:9. So what we want to do is we want to change the resolution, and let me bring this over here a little bit more for you guys. Resolution, FPS type, or FPS type, we're going to go to custom, and then here we're going to do 1920 by 1080, and that's our HD. Now, for some, I'm not using the standard Logitech drivers that come in. I'm using the Windows drivers for it because I use multiple cameras on setups. So what I'm going to do is I have to change the video format to an MJPEG, and it should bring the screen back. So hey, I'm back. How you guys doing? What up? So all right, so now what we're going to do is the FPS we're going to set at 30 because that's the highest we can do at 1280 or 1920 by 1080. And that's the limitation of this camera. So now the color space, we want to do 709, and so that's basically the color range in the spectrum. We're going to go through 709 patterns of color, and we're going to select full instead of partial. That'll give us our full range. Buffering, you can leave at auto detect. Don't need to change anything. And honestly, guys, if you have the Logitech drivers or the drivers with whichever webcam you're using, you can probably leave the video format at any, and it should work. And I don't know if this is really a limitation of Streamlabs or if it's a limitation of something else or whichever. But all the other settings here, we're going to leave just as is. It should be fine. Configure video, we can worry about that later, not really now. And just click done. So here, what I'm going to do, and I know I don't have my green screen set up like perfectly optimized for this one, and that's because it's optimized more for what you're seeing right here in this area right here. So it's perfect for that. But what we will do is we're going to hold down the Alt key and then just click and drag till I bring it over onto the green screen. And we're going to do it on the right side as well. So we get rid of all of the background. And done. Perfect. So what we want to do now is, if you have a green screen, you do that. If not, you have an awesome background you want to show already, go ahead and do that. It's fine. So me, because I have a green screen, I'm going to go ahead and set up my chroma as well. Right click the C920, click filters, click the plus sign, and then go down here and click chroma key. You can filter it if you're going to have multiple chromas set up or anything like this. You can name it. I don't. I'm just going to set it up to just chroma. And then right here, you see now, and the reason I pulled this over here to the side is so you guys can see right here in this area how there's that noise that's showing right over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mess with my similarity and try to knock that out. And let me actually move this, try to move it over a little bit more. So similarity. And I don't want to change it too much. So I still see some noise right over there right now. So I move it over a little bit more. So 425, it looks nice. Now the smoothness, let me play with that. Oh, see, look what happened when I move the smoothness. It just totally jacks it up. So I'm going to move it back a little bit till I get rid of all this little noise that's coming in. All right. So 72, 75. Okay, I think 65 is going to be best. It's going to look best for us. And the key color spill. Right now the color looks good, so I'm not going to mess with it. But one thing, I do have my lights set up. I have a light over there, a big box soft light, and then I have another light right in front of me. So it's bringing color, plenty of light, and we're set up. Now, one thing that you guys probably just saw when I was moving, like the focus, like kind of went, because I have autofocus set up and auto white balance as well. Now what we'll do is we'll go to configure video, and I'm using the Windows drivers, remember guys, so it's a little bit different from what you might see. So camera control, I want to take out autofocus, and you know that probably be with whatever you guys are using to, you know, configure. Auto exposure I'm going to take off as well, because I don't want anything to move around. Low light compensation I can also take out, because I do have plenty of light here. And we basically want the camera to do as less work as possible. We don't want it to do all this processing and, you know, really making it hard on the camera to mess with frame rates or anything like that. So I'm going to take that off as well. Click apply. And I'm going to come over here, and I am also going to take the automatic white balance out. I see it's a little bit, I'm a little bit pink. So I'm just going to adjust that a little bit till we get that fine. Turning down the gain as well, because I want to adjust the brightness up a little bit, as well as the contrast. And I think that looks perfect. I think that looks good. Zoom is all right. I'm not going to mess with zoom at all. But now one thing I can say, for some reason we are getting a little bit of frame rate stutter, but that's all right. Okay, so I'm going to add another filter on here. And this filter here is going to be for color correction. And again, if you're going to set up multiple filters, of course, you're going to name it however you want. We're only going to do one filter, since this is just a demo bit pretty much on how to do this. So gamma, again, I'm going to take down. And I think gamma looks good at -0.1. Contrast, I think contrast looks good right now. Brightness, let's see. I think 0.2 looks great for 0.02, excuse me, for this. And done. So I think we got our webcam set up good. I think it's fine. I've got a little bit, I see a little bit of noise again. So let me actually go back in there and mess with these filters that I just put in on the color correction. So go down to 1. All right, so I think that's good there. I mean, there's still a little bit of noise there, and we'll actually get rid of that now with the chroma key settings. So the all right, got rid of it. Done. Perfect. All right, so now we've got a perfect transparency. If I remove this here, it's all good. All gone. And of course I have cut off here because I don't have the green screen optimized. So that is our webcam setting. So we're good now. I'm going to lock that because I don't want anything to happen to it. So now And I am actually going to have to grab something, guys, because one thing I did is I need another HDMI cable that I'm going to have to go into here. You won't need to worry about this for yours unless you're doing a dual stream PC, but you'll keep this here. So Anamoxia, if you want to just like chat for a second, maybe talk about something that we've gone over already, or maybe throw up another one of our links or something like this while I grab that cable.
Excellent. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Anamoxia. I'm a mod and developer for ModCrash. I am actually going to be doing some streaming content for ModCrash coming up shortly. So I'm finding this a particularly resourceful stream myself. So far we've covered some basics with the Streamlabs OBS. I'm going ahead and put a link in chat now where you can download Streamlabs OBS to support ModCrash. In a few minutes, Fission's going to be going over the rest of the setup so that you can have a smooth and professional looking stream, even if you're relatively new at it. Fission's been streaming for quite a long time, so he's a valuable resource when it comes to tips and tricks in the streaming world. A little bit about you can find us at ModCrash. We're gaming enthusiasts, PC enthusiasts, total nerds and geeks. We love everything tech, from hardware to software development to networking. Some of us enjoy writing about technology more than actually using it, but you can find us, of course, at modcrash.com, and Fission will go over the other places you can find ModCrash and us shortly.
All right, awesome. Thanks for filling in for me while I went and got that cable. I did set it up. What I had to do is I had to go out from the current PC that I'm streaming from into the setup that I'm doing right now. So I had to run it out into the input of the capture card that I'm using. I do use an Elgato HD60 Pro card, and if you want to grab that link from our panel on Twitch, you can go ahead and purchase it. It is an Amazon affiliate link. We do get a little bit of a kickback for it, and that helps us go. Now, again, for those that are just joining, this is just a stream setup with OBS, Streamlabs OBS, actually. And what I said in the very beginning is any of the links that we throw up or anything like this, and you guys make purchases, we do 50% of our proceeds that go to St. Jude's. So we're very big on charity and very big on, giving back as well. So, all right. So now back in our scene, I set up a cam scene. Now I'm going to set up a video capture device, or the Elgato, basically. So I'm going right over here. I'm going to click add a new scene. And in this scene, I'm going to call it Elgato HD60 Pro. And that's just because it's real clear, straight to the point name. Don't need to give it any crazy name or anything like that. So here in the Elgato HD60 Pro, I'm going to go ahead under sources. I'm going to click the plus sign. Click another video capture device, because remember earlier we went over that capture cards are accepted. Click the source. Now you'll notice this time we have add existing source, and there's the Logitech C920 that we already added in. So anytime that we're going to add a new source, we can go ahead and click that if we're going to use the cam to reuse it, instead of trying to really, overpower OBS or Streamlabs, whatever you're doing. So I'm going to name the source the Elgato HD60 Pro here as well, and click add new source. Now here it gives me the option of right here, Elgato Game Capture HD. So I'm going to select that. Again, resolution default, we're going to set to 1920. our output. Okay, it's doing this to us for some reason. I don't know why. Let's do 1280 by 720 and that popped back in. And then we'll go back to 1920, 1080 and it should work fine. See, don't know why it does that, guys. So for the output, we're going to select 60 frames per second. And the video format, we can leave at any. Again, we're going to change our color space to 709 and our color range to full to give us that full color spectrum. And you see the option here, deactivate when not showing. We're not going to select that because what we want to do is basically have it running so we can switch through easily and quickly through our transitions. Now here, we're going to configure video right away. And again, you don't have to worry about this if you're using a single PC setup, but if you are using the dual PC setup and you have a capture card, especially the Elgato series, then this is what you're going to want to do. So right here, we're at 1080p at 60 frames per second. We're going to choose PC as the input device. And if you're coming from a console, if you're doing a console with a capture card, you would choose whatever console you want or whichever. Okay. Profile, HD 720. That's what we want. And then we can convert standard definition input to 640 by 480. And now if we wanted to change anything of our brightness, contrast, hue, saturation, we could do that here as well. But that's pretty much it. That's how you would set up your Elgato HD60 Pro or, another similar capture card. So I'm going to click done now, and we have our screen there now. So now we have our cam scene, our Elgato HD60 Pro scene. And now what we're going to do is I'm going to create a new scene, and I'm going to create this. We'll just say gameplay. All right, so on the gameplay now, what I want to do is I want to basically have it set up how we have it set up here. So we have our capture screen, and then we have the webcam. So I'm going to go ahead and click new source, video capture device, add new source, and I'm going to choose the Elgato HD60 Pro that we already have. Add existing source, and you'll see now we're in there. We're good. Now I want to add another source, video capture device, add source, Logitech C920, add existing source. Now you see it is bigger than what it is. We're going to again have to resize, but we're not going to have to mess with color settings or anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead, Alt key, shrink it down, Alt key, click, drag, and I'm going to pull to the right. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just pull it down from the corner. I don't have to press Shift or Alt or Control to constrain the aspect ratio. It's doing it by itself. And I set it over there like that. Now, I do tell you, I don't like that, guys, what you see, how it's like the camera's like jacked over. So I am going to edit the camera real quick. So I'm going to go over here, configure video. And I want to go over here and I want to go to my pan and tilt. So my pan, and it's not going to let me because I have to restart. All right, whatever. But, all right. So now this is basically our gameplay video now. This is what we would see in Streamlabs. This is what we would see everywhere else. And then we can go ahead and we would add scenes accordingly to this. Now, the most important thing when going through this is that you just try to reuse your existing scenes as much as possible. If you don't, then what you can do is you can run into problems with like latency. Sometimes the video source won't reinitialize, so it would stay blank or black or whichever, and you don't want that. All right, so now I think the next thing we want to go into is, you see we have all these different audio sources here, and we can go into those in a second. But what I want to do go right into now is probably the meat and the guts that's really behind streaming. And that's going into our output, our video, etc. So first, our streaming service is already set up because we linked Twitch with Streamlabs OBS. But now our output, I always work everything in advance. Now you do have the option to go to simple, and you can even have Streamlabs try to like auto configure system for you, but I don't recommend that at all. Because it usually, if you have a higher internet setting, it'll set your bit rate a lot higher, which will end up really limiting your viewing source, your viewers in a whole. Because if somebody else with the lower internet speeds is trying to watch, they won't be able to watch, at least until you're, an affiliate or a partner. When you get the transcoding options available, and I'll talk about that in a little bit, is when you're able to set your bit rate up. So if you're just starting out to stream, what I suggest is the following settings here. First, we're not going to rescale our output from here. Well, yeah, we're not going to do it from here. So uncheck rescale output. We don't want to have enforced streaming services over streaming service encoder as well. Now, if you're using a PC and you have a strong processor, like for example, in this rig right here that we're setting up the test stream that I'm showing you here, there's an i9 9900K in there. So I want my encoder to be the processor. So that's going to be software X264. We also have an NVIDIA card in there, and that's going to get your NVENC coder in, NVENC. So if your video card is stronger than your processor, you can go ahead and set up your encoder to be your NVIDIA card. But since this is a strong PC, we're going to go ahead and set the encoder at 264. Rate control, we're going to keep CBR. And then bit rate right here. If you're just starting out streaming, guys, I'd recommend putting your bit rate to between 2,500 and 3,000. You could go all the way up to 6,000. Twitch does allow the bit rate to go to 6,000. But without transcoding, you're really going to be limiting your user base, because somebody with the lower internet speed, they're not going to be able to watch you. So 3,000 is fine. Now, what bit rate is, if you have ever watched like a stream and it seemed like to have like that big pixelation, maybe like a 10 by 10 squared pixelation, that's because the bit rate is trying to process your encoding. And the faster your bit rate, the faster it can code, which be the better quality your stream is, or the better quality your video is. When you're watching like live stream news, they're doing bit rates at crazy numbers, like 100,000 sometimes, maybe even more. But the higher your bit rate, the better quality it is. So we're going to go ahead and set it at 3,000. Keyframe interval, we're going to set to 2. We're just going to leave it there. 2 is the perfect number. And that's basically how many keyframes per second is going through. And that's the average. Now your CPU usage preset. Notice how it says higher equals less CPU. If you're using the same PC that you're going game from, then you're going to see these options like ultra fast, super fast, very fast, faster, fast, medium, blah, blah, blah. So right here, if you have, a standard i5 or an i7 and you're trying to stream from the same PC, you're going to want to use super fast to very fast. If you have a more beefy CPU and you're streaming and gaming from the same PC, choose faster to fast. If you have an i9 9900K, choose fast, it's fine, or faster. Go ahead, select faster for the video if you have a beefy PC, or very fast. Profile, you have either baseline, main, or high. Twitch recommends using either a main or a high. So we're going to use main. Tune, you're just going to leave it alone. I don't know anybody who's going to put any type of filter basically over. If you want to use grain or, you know, film, animation, now you don't need any type of that stuff. All right, now here, X264 options, there's tons of them to use. The only one I've really messed with is B-frames, and the default B-frames is 3. So I just set it up to 1, 1 extra for B-frames equals 4, and it basically, what it basically does is like how it like compresses your frames in it. So it's supposed to make the video look a little bit cleaner, a little bit the quality a little bit better as well. Now for recording, we'll actually, now I don't want to jump back and forth. We'll go through recording right now. Recording, you see here, you have standard as your only option. You can type in other options if you know what they are, but the only one given to you is standard. Your recording path is where you want to record your videos to. Now in that PC, I do have a dedicated drive specifically for stream videos to be recorded in it. It's a beefy drive, so when you're recording, make sure you select some place that has a lot of space. You don't want to put it on your, you know, main SSD or anything like that, because you'll really take up space as you're recording. Now, generate file name without spaces. I highly recommend this. The reason being, whenever you put a video together or anything like this to search, indexing is a little bit better with names put together without space. Now, recording format, you see here you have FLV, MP4, .mov, .mkv, TS, M3U8. .mkv is probably your best format. It does have a better compatibility range for audio as well as video combined for the two. And then you can set your audio track to be 1, 2, 3, 4. You could separate it from your video. I just keep it on the same. Now, recording option, again, it goes back to your software or NVNC, whichever one you want to use. If you're streaming and you do want to record at the same time, you could set your recording option to be your NVIDIA card, whichever one you want. I don't recommend rescaling output. The reason being is because, I mean, frankly, you're going to be messing around with getting a lower quality recording versus whichever. And we're going to actually come back to this because I did want to talk about something actually. Now, again, here, rate control, CBR again, bit rate. If you notice, I have it set to 20,000 here. That way I'll have a little bit more of a clear video. It won't look like blocky and choppy or, blurry at all. It'll be really a lot more clear. And I'm only doing this for recording because it's not going to anybody who's trying to watch it live. Again, keyframe intervals, we're going to 2. CPU usage, faster. Profile, I have set to high here. And that's because I'm just recording. I'm not streaming out. Now, if you're using the same PC to record and stream from and game from, you might want to just set it to main. And then again, we're going to the B frames at 4. Audio tracks, you can just leave those alone unless you're doing real crazy stuff with audio. No need to mess with anything. Audio here, for your desktop audio device, number 1, you want to set to default. Desktop audio 2, if you have a second audio device that you want to come in, like maybe Discord or something like this that you have pulled through, maybe you're using something like Voice Meter Banana or something like this, you could set it through there as well. Now your mic, you can set to your mic, and these are whatever defaults you have set in Windows. And then if you have a second mic, third mic, again, you can choose whichever ones you want. If you wanted to choose directly which one you wanted, then you can go ahead and go in and then say, hey, yeah, I want, whichever mic I'm using. Now video, the base canvas resolution. This is the resolution that the video is coming in at. So if you're coming in at 1920 by 1080, or if you're coming in at 1280 by 720, you would select whatever your base canvas resolution is. Now your output scaled, This is what you want to basically change your output to. If you're doing something universal for both recording and streaming, you can go ahead and change it from here. Now your downscale filter you see here is Lanczos, and the options you have are bilinear. It says fastest but blurry of scaling. Bicubic, sharpened scaling at 16 samples, and Lanczos is doing 32 sample scaling. So I choose yet because I do downscale when I stream to 1280 by 720. Now FPS type, we're going to leave at common, and here you can select whichever FPS value you want. I'm going to choose 30 simply because I want you guys to, everybody to be able to see my stream. If you're just starting out, this is what you'll do. So now that I went over that, now I'll go back to output. I said I'll come back to it. Since I'm going at 1920 by 1080 on a full scale level, right here, I want to keep my videos recording at 1080, but I want to rescale my output to 720 when I'm streaming. So again, any user who, is coming in to see me because I don't have transcoding available, any user I want to be able to see my videos, they'll have the best option be able to do that. And honestly, I mean, 720 looks good. Unless you're somebody like, Dr. Disrespect or Ninja or somebody like this that has that super transcoding available, they can do, 1080 at 60 frames per second. And then users have the ability to stream at 480, for example. They'll be, select your options, then that's perfectly fine. But we'll keep that as is. So our video is set now, and we have every other setting set. Now, hotkeys. If you have something like this right here, this is an Elgato Stream Deck. Okay, the Elgato Stream Deck, and let me actually give you a link to this, guys. So the Elgato Stream Deck, and again, remember guys, I'm going to give you links that we have for our affiliates, and full transparency, we do get a kickback for it, but we do 50% of our kickback to Amazon, or to, excuse me, charity. So that is our link for Elgato Stream Deck. And this can do all your hotkeys for you. But back here, hotkeys, we're going in. You can start streaming. You could set it at a hotkey, stop streaming, whatever you want to do. You can also do it here with your HD60 Pro, with, whatever you want, whatever you have, any of your cams, whatever. You see it's all right here. Now going to advanced, process priority. If you have a beefy CPU, I highly recommend setting above normal. This will give a little bit more priority to your processor. And then your color format, select NV12, your color space 709 with a full range YUV color range. Now here it says force GPU as render device. If you've got a weaker CPU than your CPU, go ahead, tick that, and it will force your GPU to render. And then audio here, your default monitoring device. If you're listening to your audio, you can go ahead and select device here. Scene collections, you can go ahead and import, export, notifications. You can select what you want. Appearance, really nothing. I have night mode selected. And then remote control. You can get the Streamlabs app, and then you can go basically take a picture of that, and you can remote control everything from your phone. So we've got all of our settings done. We've got our scenes done and our sources done. So everything there is fine. Now the next thing that we want to go into is our dashboard. Okay, and with Streamlabs, and if you're using OBS, the setup is pretty much the same. But then you would use something like Streamlabs for your alerts, for, donations, for, whatever it is that you have. So in the dashboard, you can go ahead and you can see analytics for your past broadcasts, your achievements. You know that you can become a Streamlabs affiliate. Like, for example, we have a link that Animoxia has been thrown up for Streamlabs, and we get a kickback for that because we're a Streamlabs affiliate. So, and then you can also do unlock limited edition at cost discount on your own merch. So you can set up a merch store and have your own merchandise right through Streamlabs and put that in and have it all set up. Then you can go through and you have recent events of what's happened. Maybe somebody followed you recently, maybe somebody donated or whatever. You can see it right there. Recent or my donations, you will, basically be able to set up your donations here. You can see your subscribers. You can see shared access if you want to give any shared access to anybody. Like, let's say Animoxia would stream with me. We can, do that right through here. API settings, really no need to go through that. But here, donation settings, this is where you'll set up your PayPal, credit cards, whatever. Here you see we're linked with Twitch, and all of our settings will save based off that link. Integrations, we can integrate all kinds of stuff. Tippy Stream, Razer Chroma, and actually this is pretty cool. With Razer Chroma, if you have like any Razer products, let's say somebody donates, you can set your Chroma to react to that. And your widget themes, merch store, etc., etc. So that's all through chatbot. We can go and set up things through chatbot, and our chatbot's here. So here, if you notice in our chat, like every few minutes, something pops up like follow us at Twitter, follow ModCrash on Twitter, follow @Fission on Twitter. We set these up on timers, and you would click add timer, name the timer, say follow ModCrash Twitter. This is just the name that we're going to call it. And then, hey, follow us on Twitter. And then go ahead, throw the link in. Now here, this is very important. Your interval in minutes. Okay, if you want it to come through, if you're not going to have a real busy chat and stuff like this, you want to set a higher interval. So we'll say 15 minutes. And then line minimum, very, very important. If you're just starting out, chances are a lot of people aren't going to be coming in commenting or anything like this. Your line minimum is basically how many lines of chat have come out already. You're going to put 0. That way it's not limited. If you put 1, it's going to wait for that first chat to come up. So if nobody's chatting up, so you can't have any spaces in the title of that name. So save there, and now we can go ahead and we have it activated, which is perfect. Themes. Now, if you are somebody who's just starting out, if you want to set up like your different scenes through like different themes, you could do that as well. If you're not an artist or you don't have anybody do it, you can basically choose stuff from here. You can go through and you could say, hey, let's see, I want to have a live scene. I want to have a be right back, an offline, and a stream starting. And then I play first person shooter. So let me go ahead and click first person shooter. And then you see right here, it gives us the options. You can get animated, you can get whatever. So let's look at this. So this looks pretty cool, right? So, and this has everything already for us. So in Streamlabs, we can go ahead and click install overlay. Now it's adding here. All right, so now if you see here in our scenes, we now have what's called hexagons, and we have a live scene. We have be right back. We have ending soon and offline. Now our live scene, you notice right here, this is supposed to be my webcam. I would just go down here to webcam, click on webcam, The source, I want to choose my HD Pro webcam. And then video format, because I'm using other drivers. All right, let me choose this out. 30 MJPEG, and it should pop up. And there we go. So 709 full. Again, we went through all that earlier. I'll click done. And now here, going to have to resize. All right. And I'll set it up. Again, my green screen is not optimized, so don't hate on me for it. All right, so I'm going basically... you know what? I'm spending too much time on it, guys. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. Sorry. All right, so... And then I bring it over here. And remember, we'll set up chroma. I'm going to have to mess around with it. All right, whatever. I can't do it right now. I'm not going to mess all the time with you guys right now. But again, you put the filter on, the chroma key, and then done. And I've got the transparency behind me. So, you know, you could see, still see the gameplay behind. Now up here, it's already put our alerts in it for new follower, new donation. We're all good there. It set everything in that we needed. Now, I did want to go over that with you. If we go back to my scene stream setup, this is the one that we were working on already. Let's say we want to set in a, you see how people put their, overlays on. You have new follower and everything like this. So let's go ahead. In here, we'll go ahead. We'll add a new source. We'll add let's add text, because I didn't design any custom images for it yet. So add source text, and I'm going to name this new follower. All right, and color and text going to be recent follower. And we'll leave the defaults at the same right now. And so you see right up here, it just set it right there, which is fine. Here, you know what? We'll put it overhead. Recent follower, and we'll have the text read out to the right. Sorry, I knocked that over. So here, again, now this time what we're going to do is we want to add our alert box, or excuse me, stream label. Sorry, stream label, add source, and add new source. And here we're going to do label type, and the most recent follower, and see how it says name. Arial 36, we'll keep that the same, but hey, we want to choose a different color to get this a little bit distinct from the other text in there. Now we have that over there. And reason we don't have anything is because we don't have a recent follower yet. So if anybody wants to follow the ModCrash stream setup, Twitch TV /ModCrash stream setup, we should go ahead and get a follow in there. And I will go live just to test this, and we're going to say test and confirm go live. All right, so we are live now on that, and I'm just looking at it myself. And I will actually follow. Oh, stream setup. So, and I'm going to go ahead and follow myself. If anybody hasn't else, just follow me. All right, followed. So now it should have one follower. So we should. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and stop that stream. Just so we can go ahead and we're going to probably have to restart. Oh, no, there it popped through, came through. Now you guys see that it did get like a little messed up. That's because when I was trying to move it, there wasn't anything in there at that point to really grab. So it, instead of it doing what it was supposed to, it resized. All right, so we're almost there. All right, so now recent follower, ModCrash PC, and of course you can do your overlay. You can create your overlay that would have a background behind that, so it wouldn't, nothing would like be coming through too much, too prominent, or being misread or anything like that. Now, Animoxia, the reason that we did this stream was because you wanted to start streaming and you really didn't know where to start at. So let me ask you, what questions do you have right now about, you know, any further setup, or did I miss something you're not sure of, or?
This is all really helpful information and has actually cleared out a lot of the cobwebs, the stuff I've been trying to do an undirected study of myself over the last few days. Here is a couple of maybe technical questions. Maybe I missed butterflied while you were talking, but
okay.
So you click go live.
Yes.
Now you're logged in as Twitch, so obviously I would assume it's going to stream to that Twitch.
Right.
If you wanted to switch back and forth between streaming to Twitch and streaming live to YouTube, because some streamers actually do that, how would you go about doing that?
Okay, so you go back here to dashboard, and they allow you to do this now. They didn't do this before, but here in let's see, my account. Okay, hold on, I gotta find it. That's actually a good question. Okay, account settings, and under account settings you see right here that you can merge multiple platforms with your Streamlabs account. Connect platforms below to change them between the platform and the drop-down navigation. So you can merge these over here. And then when you merge into them, you can basically, you know, choose which one you want to use. So let me actually merge this. Okay, I don't want to show that. So I am going to go live real quick. And then I'm going to top it in, or put it in. And click next. And here, I don't remember my password. That is not it. So, all right, got it. So YouTube, and all right, so let me go back over here to So now Streamlabs wants you to access your Google account for ModCrash for YouTube. I'm allowing it. All right. So now YouTube, I have the option to set as primary. It's linked or whichever. So if I set this at primary now, whatever, it's fine. But when I go live, interesting. I believe when I go live, it's going to choose from here my stream outputs of whichever I have here set still. So now if I want to go to YouTube to stream live, then I basically choose this right here, YouTube, and then put my stuff in. But all my stuff there is linked. So I can switch now. All my settings have been saved. I can link all the accounts I want with it now. And then I could stream to whichever streaming service I want by going over here to settings, stream, and then service. And then you'll put whichever you want. Now, if you want to do a simulcast, kind of like what we're doing right now, because we are streaming in Twitch and YouTube right now, what we would do is use a service like Restream.io. And Restream, basically what it will do is in Twitch, you'll have the key and stuff like that. And since this is a test, like stream setup, whatever, let me go ahead and let me go to Twitch. And right here, let me log in and go to, what is it? ModCrash stream setup. And then so I log in. Now this is how you will get the information. I don't want to do that right now. Really? Okay, just Fortnite. All right, whatever, just the first three. I don't care. Done. All right, so now here, I want to go to, click this drop down in Twitch. I will go to dashboard. Now in dashboard, and hold on one second, I'm sorry, I'm going to close this out for a sec, because if this does show it off by default, I don't want you guys to get this. All right, it doesn't show it. Perfect. All right, so going back. So we were right here, live. So we'll go down here to channel settings, or settings channel. And then here you see stream key. You would basically copy the stream key. And then you would come in here under settings, stream, and your stream key right here, you'd paste it. Your server, I'm closest to Miami. I can choose Miami. And then of course it's streaming with Twitch right now. But YouTube is similar. Restream.io is similar. You just want to change your service to whichever one you're using. And then you want to go ahead and, put in your stream key, and you're done. Does that make sense?
Perfect.
Okay.
So another, not really technical, but kind of spazoid question. So you've got your scenes all set up. You've gone ahead and prepared everything, and now you want to go live. How do you ensure which one of the scenes is shown first when you go live?
Okay. So whatever scene you're showing here. So if you go to live right here, like you're about to go live, you see right here in the preview window, that's exactly what's going to be showing.
Excellent.
So here also gameplay is highlighted. If I just wanted to go over the Elgato HD60 or the cam, I would select them and it's highlighted. But that's what's showing right there in the stream.
Excellent.
Now, one thing that I do recommend, for for us, you know, of course, like I've used you to tell me, hey, how's the sound sounding or whatever. For anybody else just starting out, set up a dummy Twitch account, something like this, ModCrash stream setup. You could do whatever, my dummy test stream account, whatever you want to call it. And then you would basically just test stream there first. Make sure your audio is working. Make sure your video is working. Make sure you're not getting a loss in frame rates or anything else like that. Because one thing that will happen, and what I think I will do is... Man, no, I can't do that. I don't... Well, I could probably do that. But we'd probably see a lot of like buffered effects because we are... Whatchamacallit? Now, you know what? I'm going to do it. I am going to fire up some of this. Wait, no. Is it going to work? Yes, it will work. Okay, so you guys are going to be seeing Black Ops. And also, because I have the stream going over there using a dual stream PC, it's going to be working over there too. So, again, we know this is a dummy account, so we can go ahead and stream. I didn't select any gameplay or anything like that. But we can go ahead and we can test how the stream is going to be looking. So if everybody wants to go over to ModCrash Stream Setup, that is where our test stream is going to be playing now. And this is exactly what we're going to be seeing. So it looks like I'm getting some dropped frame rates maybe or something. I don't know. It looked like it was pausing for a second. And if you want to play the audio through as well to make sure the audio is coming through, then we can see that if the setup has been perfect. So go to multiplayer and find a match. I don't know why it keeps resetting my specialist. All right. So far so good. Everything's looking good right now. We're looking fine. We're looking good. No dropped frames. We're at 3000 bit rate. The video looks good. Now you'll see what I'm talking about with the blockiness as soon as we get some frame rates showing in. You'll see that there's blockiness happening and everything like this. And I'll actually adjust the bit rate. So, you know, I'll adjust it at 1,000. I'll stop the stream, adjust it 1,000, and then show you the difference, and then do an additional 1,000. And then this is a new map. New map.
Uh-oh.
Team deathmatch.
Butterfly.
All right, 0. Yes. No, I don't want torque. All right, I'm 0. All right, so...
Hostile UAV circling.
All right, so you guys... Okay, you guys are seeing like a little bit of stutter. And that is because I am streaming 2 different streams right now, and it's actually streaming out to 3 places. YouTube, as well as... Alright, so you guys can see it, blockiness and everything like that. So let me go ahead and take that out, and I'm going to leave match because... Hey, we're just doing test stream, right? So, end stream. Now I'm going to, actually I'm going up the bit rate to 6,000, which is the maximum Twitch will allow without being an affiliate or partner. That's the maximum Twitch will allow. So now we're at 720, 60 frames per second, and we're doing, whatchamacallit, 6,000 bit rate. I'm trying to do 6 things at one time right now.
It's all good.
All right. So the stream is going through. Was audio coming through the stream?
That's a good question.
Because I don't know if I set up audio through the... Let me actually check that.
The stream,
because
your stream and not the stream you set up to stream.
Because it should be coming through Elgato. Because... the audio device... All right, let me go to audio. All right, let me change this here. That's why. Alright, because I use voice meter normally and I don't have it set right now, so I gotta go ahead and set it up. And then, so voice meter banana. Alright. And the output. All right. So, hey, Clank. Can barely hear you, dude.
Barely, barely.
All right. And why are we having this issue with audio? Let's see. Okay, so the Elgato AC60 Pro should be getting audio in. And why it's not is a mystery. I think because we're using 2 audio devices. Default. Barely hear you, dude.
Yeah, I can't.
Oh, you know why? That's actually my fault. There we go. Yep,
Nope.
A little bit better, but still low. So the audio should be working now for the... All right. So now with the 6,000 bit rate, you'll see that the video is a lot more crisp. Now this is the only downfall to that is people that have a lower internet connection, people who are on like DSL or, you know, whichever, then they're really going to suffer. They're not going to be able to watch my video because I don't have transcoding. Now, what transcoding is, for those of you that don't know, I am streaming out right now at 720p at 60 frames a second. If your internet cannot handle that with the 6000 bit rate, what transcoding would do is it'll then allow you to stream at, 160p, 480, whatever. It gives you those options. So if you've ever watched like any of those big streamers out there like Ninja or whoever, and then you're on your mobile device, for example, and you need to stream at a lower bit rate so you can watch without buffering, then you're able to do it. That's transcoding. That's what that is. So here now we're at a 6000 bit rate, 720, and you can just see already the picture is much cleaner. It looks really, really good. Now, I would try to push it up to 8,000-9,000, but again, unless you're partnered, or you're not going to get much more bit rate allowed. And that's the only thing. Now, if you're streaming to YouTube, you're allowed to put a lot more bit rate, and they actually ask for it. They're like, hey, shoot us your bit rate.
Consider all contacts hostile.
So here you go. And what I'm doing now is I'm looking also on the stream in OBS. I'm looking for dropped frames. See if I'm getting dropped frame rates or anything like that. And everything is really fine. But if you look at the picture now, you see there's like no blockiness. It's not blurry. It is a little bit laggy, but that's simply because I'm streaming two different things at one time, and I'm using a lot of my internet connection. I mean, I have 40 down, 30 down and 300, no, 40 down, 40 up. 40 up and 300 down is what I have. So I can handle it somewhat, but I probably have some family members that are streaming something right now too. Yeah. So the picture out there, real clear, real clean. It's burning me, burning me. All right, but that's the picture. That's all that I want to show. That's pretty much how it is. So I'm closing out now. Call of Duty, closing out at everything. So I think that's pretty good. I mean, I think we've got pretty much of a sense of what we want to show, sense of what we want to include. And I think this video actually encapsulated pretty much everything that we want to do as setting up our new stream machine. Now, I do want to go over a hardware video, not today, but on actually using a dual PC system. When I first started streaming and I was using, trying to use a 2 PC system, I ran into many issues with audio, with video, with everything like that. And if you noticed, I had to go in, we had an issue with the audio a second ago. I use this thing here called Voice Meter Banana. What it allows me to do is I have my hardware out. I have, first of all, my mic coming into here. This allows me to put, like, adjust my voice and different things like that. It has a compressor and a gate on it. But then when I go out, I have my mic going out into my stream, into my speakers, my headset. And then I also have the stream, because I have my default audio going into this. I have my stream going into, I have it going into my Elgato HD 60 Pro, and that's running over HDMI into the Stream PC. So that's why we weren't able to hear any audio from the game. Now, if I would have launched the game directly from this machine, you know, it would have picked up audio right away. And to give a good example of that, so our desktop audio, right? And if we go here, let's just open up YouTube and just play anything, just so we can see. And I go in here, and if you look under desktop audio now, you can see that it's reacting right now. So that's it. That's pretty much what it is. That's how you stream. That's how everything's set up. If you have any other questions, if you have any question about something in the setup, something in the video, or anything like this that you didn't understand, you didn't get, whatever, you can drop us a message. Just tweet it to us, send us a DM on Twitter. It's at ModCrash. We'll be sure to answer. For those that are watching on YouTube, put any comments you want on there. Let us know. We will answer them. We will respond. If it's not me, it'll be one of the staff members from ModCrash. But, either which way, I hope this video really cleared up a lot. I know when I first started streaming, I had a lot of questions. A lot of things really confused me. I really didn't get it, especially setting up OBS. But hopefully I went over everything in the stream that covered everything from bitrate. What should you set your bitrate to? What should you set your aspect ratio in your camera to? What should you set everything to? I hope it answered everything that you had. If not, like I said, hit us up in Twitter. We're streaming Restream right now, so it is going to YouTube as well. Make a comment in YouTube, or right here, if you have any questions right now, drop it in chat, and we'll just do some live. I think we'll keep the stream open a little bit, and then we'll go through some QA. If anybody wants to drop any questions or anything like that, just let us know, and then we'll try to answer as much as we can. So this stream really came about because Enamoxia, he wants to start streaming. He hasn't done it. He wants to do it. So he was like, how do we do it? How do I do it? I got a few questions for you. And I was like, you know what? Actually, I'll do a stream on it. And then if you have any questions after that, let me know it, and then I'll answer it. So that is that pretty much. And so were you guys able to see like the whole stream setup? I know I did a lot of streaming, and there may be some questions about something I had or did or anything like that, or where any of the settings are. Let me know.
It seemed pretty sharp, pretty informative. Definitely didn't have any issues following along.
Okay. Did you set your stream up while we were doing it?
For the most part, I'm going to play around with a couple more things and then probably do a test stream a little bit later.
Okay.
I'm actually playing around with game capture because I'm kind of toying with the idea of having just a display capture set to my secondary monitor, but it might be neat just to be able to capture any gameplay. However, I noticed, let me pull that back up again. All right, so if I set it to capture a specific window, I have to have something running and then select that already. So I would assume this would be helpful if you're setting up, say, a
yeah. So here, let's actually do this. Let me add a new scene, and I'll say monitor capture. And for streaming, this is what I actually recommend, is doing monitor capture. You shouldn't have to have something open in order to capture monitor. So display capture, you click that, add source, and we're just going to say whatever monitor you want to capture. So monitor, if I spell it right, monitor 1, and add new source. So right here, you see display 0, 1920 at 1080. So if you have two displays, it'll say like display 1 or display 2, right. Display whatever, So I only have one monitor on there. So I hit it and automatically captures whatever I'm doing there. So if I, for example, I have a game running here, or maybe I'm doing something like a web development tutorial, or whatever, then I can hear in this monitor. Let's see if I have anything on this machine that I could really put to give a good example. I don't really have anything on there. Okay, I'll open up Xbox, for example, in one window. And let's say that's, Atom or whatever. And then in this window, I open up another. So what it's doing here, it's allowing me to capture anything I open here so I can share it. Now, if you only were planning on capturing that program, that's fine. But if that program crashes, it could cause an issue with your stream.
That is the point I was looking for. That's the counterpoint I think that I needed to hear. That's a good. Didn't even think about that.
Yeah, so it could black out and then your stream could freeze. I mean, there's a whole bunch of hiccups that could happen. But if you do monitor capture, then you just basically have it right there.
That's pretty sharp, and that'll also allow me to set up, for instance, a second scene with my primary monitor or whichever one I'm not gaming on at the moment. So if somebody asks a question, I can pull some information up or what have you. Maybe have, I don't know, ModCrash on the second one.
Yeah. Any of that will work.
I have to be honest. There's coming into this for the first time. There's an overwhelming amount of things, but it is fairly intuitive once you have a step-by-step process to go through.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole problem I ran into when I first started streaming. Is one of the biggest things was I'm looking at my video output, and it's like really blocky, really choppy, and I'm like, why is it like this? I mean, I've got a good internet connection, I have a good computer, I have everything. There's no reason that it should be like this. And I didn't understand about the bitrate. I didn't understand about how the transcoding worked or the encoding or anything else. And it was just kind of like, well, I don't know what to do. I really didn't understand it. So I was going from source to source to source, trying to put everything together. And there was no like single place we could go to that would have something like, okay, you're going to do it like this, you're going to do it like this, you're going to do it like this. And of course, everybody's setup is going to be different. Everybody's bit rate is going to be different. Everybody's resolution is going to be different. Their settings are going to be different. But as a base idea of where we need to go, as a base point, as a base starting area, knowing that we're coming in without any real support from Twitch, even though they say, hey, yeah, you can stream at 6,000 bit rate, they don't tell you that, hey, yeah, even though you're streaming at a 6,000 bit rate, the video might look good, everything like this, but you're limiting your user base because most people aren't going to be able to watch you. Most people, they watch on their phones. And then people who are watching on their phones aren't going to be able to watch me streaming because I don't have, the encoding options available that somebody like Ninja or Dr. Disrespect or anybody else is going to have. So I didn't understand that for the longest. I understood the concept, but I didn't understand why, because I still figured, well, I have a beastly PC. I have this, I have that. But until you really start streaming, it really doesn't come to you. So that's why I recommend those base settings to start with. Start at 2500 to 3000 bit rate. Make sure you have, don't try to stream at 1080. There's no sense on trying to stream at 1080 unless you're Dr. Disrespect. If they open up their server to you, to be like that, once you become partnered, then yeah, because you have the transcoding options available. People who can't watch at 1080, they'll be able to stream down at 480, be able to watch you, or 640, whatever. But there's actually a real good video that I watched about bitrate that really made me understand about the blockiness and everything like this. And, you know, it was basically showing that, hey, look, when you've got all these different elements that are popping in, you know, like, for example, you know, what they used is like snow and then sleet and then add wind in with that snow and add this and all these other moving elements on the screen, like really enhance what's going on and the frames that are happening on the screen. And the bit rate basically allows it to run a lot smoother. And if you don't have that much bit rate in there, then it really, you know, really bogs things down. But so as long as people, you know, as long as you guys stick to the base settings that I said in the beginning that we went through, those base settings are going to be what's going to really get your stream off the ground. Because when you're starting off, and you know, right now I can attest to this to the fullest. Right now, I'm trying to build up viewers. I'm trying to get, you know, become affiliated and become partnered. And we want ModCrash for that as well. But for my personal stream at Mr. Fission, I have sat there and I have gone through, and I want as many viewers as possible. And I know that people that are coming in, they're, you know, not necessarily going to have internet like I have. They're not going to have internet like you might have. They might have real good internet. They might have real crappy internet. They might be on DSL still, like, or maybe even dial up if it still exists.
Yeah. Modem strings.
But for real, I mean, that's what it is. And I gotta think that even though I want to be this big streamer who really cares about quality and, you know, production and everything, I've got to think about all my viewers. And unless I really care about people who, you know, have a ton of money, who can sit there and cough, you know, $300 on internet a month, then sure, I'll pump out that 6,000 bit rate a day. But our streams are for everybody. We want everybody to come in. We want everybody to hang out with us. We want everybody to watch what we're doing, have fun, game with us, whatever. We want a full community. We want you to become mod crashers. And in order for that to happen, I've got to set my bit rate for you guys, for all of you. You know, even though it might be a little bit blocky and choppy, and watch at a smaller resolution. Don't try to put your resolution way up on your monitor. Watch in a window. You know, that way at least you'll be able to really see, you know, the gameplay and really experience it, really have fun with us. But I know that was one of the biggest things when I first started streaming is, why can't I do a 6,000 bit rate? Why my stream looks crappy? I don't like it, you know. And again, another thing I was doing is I was trying to full screen my gameplay, you know, and I'm like, oh my God, this looks like crap. But when I started watching it windowed, and I really, honestly, I watch it at 640. It's fine. It's perfect. But when we become affiliate, then that's a different story. Now, one thing I do notice, I'm looking at it right now. I see that the screen looks a little bit brightened and washed out. Let me actually show you guys how to fix that. On here, on the HD60, I'm going to add a filter. Not source. I need to add a filter. Right click, filters, and I'm going to do a color correction. And with the color correction, let me go ahead, drop down the gamma. I dropped the gamma down to -1. And let's see, I'm just moving it really slow, Because what I'm trying to do, guys, is I'm trying to get the visual to look how it's supposed to look, because it looks a little bright, or a little like, I guess you could say washed out is the best thing. Maybe set this at, I think that looks best. So, okay, yeah, that looks about right now. And if we go to cam as our scene, well, still it looks a little bit washed out, doesn't it? Well, okay, well, hold on. Aha, aha.
Aha!
So I didn't put.
That's such a great movie.
I didn't put a filter on here for the color correction to be like the gamma down. Yeah, I did. You know what? Never mind. I think that's best what I can do from what I'm watching between, because I'm actually looking at the stream there in OBS, and I'm looking at a stream here in OBS. So I think it's getting kind of double washed up from what I'm seeing, because it looks totally different from what I'm seeing over there. So I think that's what's happening. It's just getting double washed up. And you guys might be seeing the same thing. I don't know. I need to look at ModCrash right now to see. No, it's actually looking all right. Not looking that bad. So let's go ahead. Let's switch scenes again. And this is where those hotkeys would set up. I have a Stream Deck that I use on my gaming PC, or on my streaming PC actually, but that wouldn't work right now. So gameplay, and let me just see what happens. Now, audio is a pain in the butt. If you are streaming from a single PC, it's really easy to set up, because you're just going to choose your desktop audio. You could use your mic. You could, I think, even choose like your Discord and stuff like that, like your different inputs, outputs, whatever. When you're using a dual PC, the biggest challenge anybody has, I think, is audio. It's real easy to pass the video across because you're just using HDMI. But you need to have some sort of repeater, basically, that will repeat your audio. And I use Voice Meter Banana. It's free. They ask for a donation. And if you're using it, I mean, buy them a coffee. Buy the people a coffee. I mean, that's the least. So you can repeat your audio, you can push it back and forth, and you can even do IP or audio over IP. And that's how basically I have, like, from the streaming PC, the alerts come in there. And then I have also like different desktop audio that I might push through, that I run through IP over to, and it's called VBAN. I run it into my gaming PC, so I can hear it through the headset and everything like this. And in the gaming PC, I have my mic, I have my main game audio, I run music, I do all that, and I push that over to the stream PC. And I do that through, I do the game audio as well as the microphone through VBAN, and then push it through HDMI. But then Discord and Skype and a couple of others, I put through IP VBAN, and I push it over to the stream PC. So it gets confusing at times. Sometimes you might see me like a couple minutes late or something like this when it comes to a stream, and that's because I've got like a couple different setups that I use, but then I use one PC primarily that I switch around for the streams. And if I'm doing like a build or something in the workshop, I carry that PC around with me. And so I'm messing with audio a lot, and sometimes I get confused because I got two different main streams that I use, and then there was this third one tonight that I was showing you guys, so it got a little bit confusing. But either which way, if you have a question about audio, let me know. But in the meantime, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I'm going to cut it now. Now, nobody's been asking any questions. I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to have Clank edit the video and throw the video up on YouTube, so we'll be able to watch, and it's going to be more streamlined and more to the point. So I'll have him do that, and then hopefully everything will come through, everything will be clear, everything will be fine. But I really enjoyed doing this stream. We're going to do more like it soon. Definitely we're going to do one with setting up the multiple streaming PCs, or a dual PC setup, because there's just a couple of graphs out there how to do it. A couple of videos that aren't really, you could tell that they're just streamers who are trying to show, hey, this is what I did. They're not really that technical though. And not every streamer is technical, by the way. Game streamers. They usually have people helping them out to set it up in the beginning. And then they try to, say, hey, this is what I got. This is what I did. But if you ask them how they did it technically, they're really going to be stuck. So they really can't help you to the fullest. So somebody like ModCrash, like us, we can do the technical and explain why it works and how it works like that and what happens if you don't use it anywhere else. So I think that'll be a new stream that we'll be doing pretty soon. But I enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope it was clear enough for you. I hope you're able to go ahead and start streaming. If you do stream, if you found this video helpful, please shoot us a comment, tweet it out to us, say, hey, look, guys, thank you. I was wondering how to do this. You really helped me. You really saved our life. Do it. At least you could do, right? And then drop that follow also. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. Thanks a lot, guys, for dropping in. I'm Fission with ModCrash, and we have Animoxia with us. Clank was here. I don't know if he's still in. He had a problem with his audio. But, you guys have a great night.
Have a good one.